complex networks and methods of smuggling dollars from Iraq to Iran. American report reveals the details. This lays out the perfect reasons to have an RV and fix it. All they need to do to fix this is revalue the Iraqi currency, the dinar. Television shows the United States president canceling the exception to allow Iraq to obtain electricity from Iran. Television says we have the capability to have our own electricity, enough to handle our own supply. Frank, it is being set up to be as powerful as your currency. Trump wants you to stop buying it from Iran. Trump cancels exemption granted to Iraq to import electricity and gas from Iran. U.S. President Donald Trump canceled, Wednesday, the exemption granted to Iraq to import electricity and gas from Iran. This is evidence that Trump is not going to be relaxed with Iraq and has expectations that they agreed to in his first term and have not yet fulfilled. Folks, almost 7 years have gone by. This is one of those skeletons they must clean up. But there is more to this issue. Iraq has already developed its own electric grid, and is now self-sufficient and no longer needs Iranian electricity or gas. So, why is Iraq still purchasing these utilities from Iran? This is Trump's point. Get it? The overall long-term plan is to get Iraqi to the reinstatement. It may seem a long way off, however, I assure you it is not. Just look at how quickly things are moving along. The corruption in the US was and is still affecting Iraq and getting the RV we are looking for. Our hope as investors is that the Trump administration can help to finally free Iraq from this tyranny of the feds and the Obama/Biden policies. But remember, there are also Iranian skeletons in the closet too for Iraq that they will have to clean out prior to Trump trusting them, and helping them to the extent needed. There's been a couple videos out that have a very, very low dinar rate, like in the 3.27 range. That's not really the case, and certainly it's not the case for us. That rate is nowhere near where we're going to be with the contract rate they intend to offer us. What we wanted was for them to pass these laws, and they did. I think within this week, next week the steps should all play themselves out, in turn revealing the funding for it. If that funding is at 1,310, please be patient. Sudani is protecting the new exchange rate and the lower notes. Be patient. Be smart. Everything they have told the citizens points in one direction. Central bank. Stimulating hoarded money in homes is one of the most important challenges of the stage. Quote, an official at the Central Bank of Iraq said that stimulating the money hoarded in homes and transferring it to the banking sector is one of the most important challenges facing the current stage. Member of Parliament, voting on amending the budget will solve part of Baghdad and Erbil's differences. They are saying when they voted last Sunday they solved most of the differences between Baghdad and Erbil. Now they need to finish it up, but they want you to know they have made great progress. Reuters reveals the second largest deal in the history of Iraqi resources, $25 billion with BP. Soon Aki's bank will only be for currency education or for people that want to travel to Iraq. Aki's bank is not to distribute low notes inside of USA. Iraq has already laid the groundwork for an increase in the value of its currency. They have been working on economic stability for 20 years with two major setbacks, ISIS in 2014 and the pandemic in 2020. If Iraq maintains an annual growth rate of 5% to 10%, the IQD could take many years to reach 10 cents. But remember, we, and economists worldwide all agree speculation trading and psychological milestones play a major part in the value of the IQD. Thus we are hoping the Development Road project and other major projects in Iraq will cause a landslide of speculative trading and psychological milestones. This is amazing, the speed of the information that is coming. It is in volumes and it is massive in instructions and education of the monetary reform to you citizens. The laws are in place to expose the new exchange rate in the 2025 budget. Everybody knows the truth is about to be revealed. That's why Alak and Sudani are telling Iraqi citizens, We are going to cover all the details very soon about this monetary reform. We're going to tell you about your new exchange rate, about your new lower notes. We're going to tell you everything very shortly. This is so exciting to be a part of this history. It's epic. I heard something fun today. I have someone from the East Coast that I had the privilege of meeting when I was in Reno many years ago aggregating my dinar with the Wounded Warrior crew. I don't know all the details, but I know that a very sudden trip west has been initiated. He has been asked to be there. I do not know what for yet. All I know is he got the call and has to get there. He has not made that trip in close to 4 years. So when I heard this particular individual, someone I know in real life, I got very excited today. It could be nothing, but it could be huge. I think it's huge. The contact is indeed out west now. This is a first in years, so I am very upbeat about that. An American report stated that numbers massive central bank auctions Iraqi in selling hard currency. It raises doubts and concerns about the possibility of smuggling a large part of the currency to Iran. The report stated that the central bank's currency sales amounted to more than $81 billion during 2024, a significant increase over 2023, when sales were nearly $41 billion. U.S. President Donald Trump signed a presidential memorandum on Wednesday to take immediate action by federal agencies to prevent Iran from using the financial system. Iraqi economic experts say that the country is facing a difficult test, as Baghdad wants to meet the U.S. sanctions, while at the same time seeking to maintain the stability of the country's economy and not plunge it into new crises. According to the report, Iran is exploiting the financial system in Iraq in order to circumvent international sanctions, and find an important outlet to obtain hard currency and smuggle it to Tehran. Professor of International Economic Relations, Abdul Rahman al-Moshadani, confirmed that exploitation of Iran for the Iraqi financial system, it is a problem that we have warned about for years, noting that there are a set of methods that are followed by Iran in Iraq, which is clearly evident in the trade balance that is in Tehran's favor. As it exports Baghdad, it is worth less than $1 billion to this neighboring country. Republican Representative Joe Wilson revealed that Trump issued a directive calling on the Treasury Department and other U.S. agencies to take immediate steps to ensure that the financial system is not used. Iraqi before Iran in order to evade or bypass sanctions. He also directed that the Gulf countries should not be used as transshipment points in order to evade sanctions. Wilson explained in a post on the X platform, which he attached to a picture of the decision signed by Trump, that these steps should ensure that it is not used. Iran for the financial system. Iraqi to evade or bypass sanctions, and not use the Gulf states as transshipment points for Tehran. Academic and economics Professor Nabil al-Masoumi said, Iran officially exports about $12 billion to Iraq, and all of these are revenues generated in dollars for Tehran, noting that these numbers it only